Hello, villagers. This is Joel Crandall. Just wanted to reach out to you guys and say Happy New Year. Hope you guys are doing well. I didn't post the message at the end of the year, so I thought I'd wait until January 3rd to post one. So I hope you all had a good new year. One of the things I want to address today is at the end of 2022, you may have seen a couple of posts about Patreon. Something that I'm trying out here. So what I'm doing is I'm since a lot of people are moving away from Facebook and whatnot or don't use it that much, I'm also have a Patreon page that it's a small membership to join. But what I do in Patreon is I'll take slides from the slideshows from the classes that you have taken, and I'll go more in depth on them, and I'll talk about them deeper, and you guys can post questions there, and I can answer them even further there. But just another reason why it's so important to post your questions, so I understand, a little bit more about what areas you guys are having difficulty with. There's another really exciting announcement. We were going to shoot it last year, but we didn't get a chance to. So a couple of big announcements that I have coming up, and this will also be for and on the Patreon page, is I have a friend of mine who is a musician, and he's struggling with his voice right now, and he may have to have minor surgery. But what we're going to do is he has a music studio, and this is something I've been wanting to try and do for a couple of years. I've been trying to set up with some of my musician friends, but it's just so difficult because they're trying to make albums and make a living, etc. as well. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to use his music studio, and we're going to record him playing, and then I'm going to do voila on him, and then record him playing the same thing, and see if there is a frequency change, a quality of sound change, etc. So we'll have actual data on that. So that's really exciting. The second thing I want to talk to you guys about, or another announcement, is again on the Patreon page. It's going to be on there. Some people have and over the years have expressed that they want me to do another level 1, but more in depth class. And I've been thinking about it, and I think I kind of figured out a way to do this now. I'm going to use Patreon, of course, but as you guys all know, Nick Mila has been just doing an amazing job of keeping the VOILA Facebook pages going and interacting, and just doing an amazing job. So what we're going to do is Nick and I are going to film some segments. So we're going to call this VOILA 1.8. So we'll go much more in depth with what I'm doing, what I'm looking at, what my thought processes are and in finding those different movements and why movement matters and why position really, really matters. So these are some of the things that we're going to entail in this VOILA 1.8. And I'm really excited about doing that. Again, we weren't able to get together in December to shoot it. So I want to shoot it and get it all edited. So I don't have a date when that might come out, but what just popped into my head was let's make it March 1st. To hopefully have it edited and everything and ready for you guys to view and to continue learning. So that's exciting. The other thing I want to talk about is why we didn't do any study groups in 2022. And the reason wasn't because I didn't want to do them. The reason was you guys. It was you guys that were writing to me that the study groups were affecting you too much. And what we mean by that is, so kind of everybody was in this traumatic survival mode. And doing voila was too much for them, when it was the perfect opportunity to do voila and to work through these traumas. But you guys decided not to do that. And I honored that. But at some point, you got to work through it. So if you guys are ready to work through your trauma survival mode, I'm here for you. We can do a couple of study groups. I can also do one-on-ones, and we'll go there. We'll start nice and slow, and it's just a great opportunity to work through some of the PTSD, etc., that has been happening over the last couple of years. Oh, so the other thing that I wanted to talk about, and I asked somebody to do this video for the village because I like to have other villagers do some videos for you, so you don't have to just hear my voice, but also hear their perspective. And I asked them to do this video like a year and a half ago, and it never got done, so I'm going to do it now. And it's great that you guys are teaming up and working on each other, which is fantastic. But I just want to be clear with you guys that the person that you are working with can only take you as far as they can go. Okay? So you can do some great work, you can do a lot of great things, but I can take you a lot further, a lot faster. So just bear that in mind. Even if you've taken level 2, you know this much. And that was being generous. There's so much more going on than you realize. You're not an expert yet after you take level 2. And we've had people take 2.5 and they can take their client to another level. But at this clinic, you know, they are a higher level than the people that work there. And they're starting to see like, oh, each person is doing a great job, but they can only take that client so far. Then they have to come in and take them to the next step and jump up their client. And then once you do that, then you can go back and you can work with whoever you want to work with. But I'm going to be able to get through stuff a lot quicker, a lot faster, and get you progressing. Habits are hard to break. They're really hard to break. So people are like, oh, I'm fully grown, I'm self-actualized. No, you're not. What you're learning is to be more aware of when you're doing something and why you're doing it. And it could be in that moment, which is fantastic. It could be a couple hours later, that's fine. It could be a couple of days later, that's fine. It could be a couple of weeks later, that's fine. It could be a couple of years later, and that's fine. But just know there's a process to it. And I am here to help you guys work through that. Okay? So just wanted to put that out there for you guys. But happy 2023. Let's make this a healthy, prosperous new year for all. Oh, that was part of my other thing was, I asked you guys to spread the word of voila. What's really been interesting is like people will they'll get to a certain point in voila and they're like, well, I don't really want to tell anybody what I'm doing because I'm doing different things. Or I've tweaked it a little bit. Well, first of all, no, you really haven't. You just might be understanding something that has been taught in a class years later and thinking you came up with something new, but you haven't. But keep trying. Definitely keep trying. So I just want to send this video out for the new year. Again, I'm asking for help to spread the word of voila. I'm building a seminar center here at my place. So most of the seminars now are going to be here in LA. I will be traveling less and less. So that's another announcement. Wow, lots of announcements here in 2023. Anyway, guys, reach out. Really hard to do, but reach out.